Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I'm your host, Chris Daughtery. Appreciate you guys joining us for today's show. If you want the Crimson Tide to bounce back and beat Missouri this week, it is homecoming. Make sure you guys like today's video right now. Be the change that you want to see in the Crimson Tide. Help me out. Like today's video right now. We're going to be breaking down this Week 9 matchup, Alabama versus Missouri. Missouri had a pretty good season last year, kind of been up and down this year. But you know what? They're still a good team. They can still come in here and beat you on homecoming. Alabama opening up right now as a 14-point favorite. And to be quite honest with you, there's a reason people in Vegas still have a job. They're coming out here and they're hitting you with that, Alabama's got to bounce back at some point mentality, which really is kind of true. But, with what we've seen the last few weeks from this team, I don't know if Alabama covers a 14-point spread, and that is even if they win the game at all. The last 5 games for Missouri, Boston College, they narrowly squeaked that one out. Vanderbilt, they narrowly squeaked that one out as well. Vandy missed a field goal in second overtime to end up losing that game for Vanderbilt. And then they go to Texas A&M and get the absolute crap beat out of them. And really, I don't know how that happened because Texas A&M, look, they're a decent team this year. They're looking better than, what a lot of us expected them to. And you know what? Missouri, they come out after that week. They bounce back. They beat UMass 45-13. And in a very, very ugly game last week against Auburn. They go in, they beat the Auburn Tigers 21-17 in a game that they trailed pretty much most of that game. So, look, Missouri, an up-and-down team. They're 6-1 this year. Only loss being to Texas A&M. So they can definitely come in here and beat you. One injury update that I want to go into for the Crimson Tide now is on Keon Sabb. Greg McElroy yesterday after we put out our video, put out this statement, I believe it was on his podcast, saying, about Keon Sabb's injury. He called Alabama's game this week, so I would assume this is pretty credible. He said, do you realize Keon Sabb played 3/4 of that game with a broken foot? A broken foot, ladies and gentlemen. And he did it because he loves his team. He didn't have to. The guy could have had season-ending surgery last week. He opted to say, you know what, I'm going to keep playing. He got a foot injury, and he broke it on the first series. So when he ran down the field and broke up that play by Squirrel White down the sideline, do you realize he chased him down with a broken foot? Do you realize how absurd that is? And look, if that is indeed true, look, hats off to Keon Sabb trying to go out there for the team and, help the team out. But look, if a guy's got an injury like that, somebody, in my opinion, has to be the adult in the room and be like, look, let's try to rehab it first, something, get Bray Hubbard out there, somebody that is completely healthy to play. I don't think when you have guys going out there playing injured, I don't think that's helping this team at all. But look, hats off to Keon Sabb, trying, his best to go out there and play for his team. Coach Kalen DeBoer during his press conference saying, we do expect him to be down for a while. Originally I thought it was a leg injury. It sounds like it is a foot issue for Keon Sabb. There are also 3 more injuries in the secondary for Alabama. Xavier Brown, Red Morgan, and Devonta Smith all were very limited in that game last week. Xavier Brown played 15 snaps, Red Morgan only 6, and Devonta Smith only 4 in that game. So, hopefully those guys are able to get back, healthy. They might not be 100%, but if you're up there in the 75% range, I would assume that they're going to be playing in this game. So let me know in the comment section right here, guys. Predict the score to Alabama versus Missouri coming up this weekend. It is the pinned comment of today's video. So that ad probably going to come here on YouTube. That's totally fine. Get down there, take advantage of it, and let me know your score prediction right now. All right, we're just going to touch on some of the offensive leaders for Missouri here real quick. Obviously, everybody knows Luther Burden III, but, he hasn't been their leading wide receiver this year. Theo Weiss has been their leading wide receiver in terms of yardage anyways. Those guys, really the top 2 receivers for them in terms of reception. And then Mookie Cooper also, doing a pretty decent job for them as well. Looking over to the leading rushers for them, Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll, both pretty decent backs. I think between the two of them, 800 yards, pretty solid. Both guys pretty, Carroll's at 4.9, but for the most part, both guys at that 9 yards per carry mark. Carroll, kind of that guy that, punches it in for him. 6 touchdowns for him, only 2 for Nate Noel. Both guys have, pretty much played the entire season for Missouri. Noel has been out 1 game also for them. And then you got quarterback Brady Cook. Look, he had a pretty decent season for Missouri last year. This year, starting off a little bit slower, but, definitely a guy that can come out here and can beat you with his legs. He doesn't really turn the ball over a lot. So, look, Alabama's defense, they kind of been coming along really, really slowly. I would love to see them go out there, force the pressure on him and try to make him make some mistakes in this game. And hopefully, we'll talk about it in a second, fingers crossed, Alabama can hopefully capitalize off some of those turnovers. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Ollie. It is clean, fresh, nutritious food for your dog in 5 flavors that they will absolutely love. Right now, Ollie is offering a fantastic deal to let your pup taste test a personalized meal plan. Get 60% off your first box of meals when you use promo code CHATSPORTS at ollie.com. You don't have to be a vet to know that feeding your dog real whole foods with minimal processing is one of the best choices that you can make for their health. It is perfectly portioned, whole, fresh food diet that has been proven to extend your pup's life by 2.5 years. You don't want who doesn't want more time with their best friend, right? With no harmful fillers and no preservatives, Ollie is made in United States kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world. This is how it works. You fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz, and they'll create a customized meal plan. Ollie then crunches the numbers and recommends the right recipes and daily portions for your pup. For any first-timers, Ollie will send out your pup's first box with 2 weeks' worth of meals and a guide of how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. Customize your plan. Ollie offers 3 meal plans to choose from, so you can choose between a full fresh plan, a fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes. This right here is my dog, Luca. He also graduated from Alabama, so where legends are made. He is absolutely a legend. When I get home from work, first thing he does, he doesn't want to go outside to go to the bathroom. He immediately runs to the kitchen. He's jumping at the refrigerator because he knows that's where I'm going to get his Ollie dog food out of, and he cannot get enough of it. So head over to ollie.com and tell them about your dog. Use promo code CHATSPORTS, and you'll get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. That's OLLIE.com and enter promo code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, to get 60% off your first box. They offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's video. All right, we're going to get into some keys to victory here for Alabama going up against Missouri. Look, the first key to victory, in my opinion, you have to be able to capitalize off these turnovers that Alabama's defense has been able to give you. There's a pretty interesting stat here from Skinny Kenny over on Twitter. In the past 2 weeks, Alabama has scored 6 points off of 7 turnovers. Now, he also says, to be fair, one of those turnovers was that interception from Damani Jackson, to ice that game against South Carolina. But in SEC play, Alabama's defense has forced 11 turnovers, and the offense has only been able to get 13 points off those turnovers. This has been something that, Kane Womack talked about earlier in the season was, being intentional with forcing turnovers, but not just forcing the turnovers. It's actually going out there and allowing the offense to go back down the field and score off those turnovers. The winning the turnover margin at the end of the day doesn't really matter unless you're able to go out there and also score off of them. So that's going to be a really, really big key for Alabama's offense coming off of a pretty poor performance last week. So let me know in the comments section. This one could go either way. I'm not even going to lie. Type Y for yes or N for no. Do you think the offense will bounce back this week against Missouri? I certainly hope so. I certainly think they have the capability to do so. Whether that is Jalen Milroe, whether it's Ty Simpson, I don't really care. I just want the offense to be able to go out there and, utilize the talent that they have on the field. Key to victory number 2. Get the running game going, man. This has been such a problem this year, and I really do not understand why. You had Jalen Milroe go out there last week and throw the ball 45 times against a team that I really don't think you needed to throw the ball 45 times against in Tennessee. Look, Jalen Milroe right now, your second leading, rusher on the team, and look, I'm all fine with that. I'm not saying take the ball out of Jalen Milroe's hands, but let him run the ball on some of those designed quarterback runs. I'm kind of tired, to be completely honest with you, with the, read options. Let's just either call a Jalen Milroe run or a run to one of the running backs. I'm tired of, the pulling. There's been reports, rumors out there that, there's been frustration with Jalen Milroe sometimes, pulling the ball. And, those could be absolutely true, but, for right now, they are rumors. And really, there's no reason. You got Jam Miller, 6.4 yards per carry. Justice Haynes, 5.8 yards per carry. And you're just not getting them the ball enough. Jam Miller, the past 4 games against Georgia, he had 5 carries. That's ridiculous. Against Vanderbilt, he had 5 carries. That can't happen. Now, South Carolina and Tennessee, both of those went up a little bit. But where are the days where our running backs, go out there and they get 15, 20 carries a game to really get themselves going? When you're averaging that much, whether or not you think the offensive line is doing very good or not, I don't think they are. You got to get these guys the ball. Same with Justice Haynes. Why is this kid averaging 7 carries in a game? That's ridiculous. He hasn't been able to get anything going since the first game of the season when he rushed for, 105 yards on 4 carries. These guys have the ability. You have to help them out, whether that's scheming, whether that's, I've noticed a lot of the times Alabama doesn't do as well when you have those offensive linemen, pulling. Just, Just let them go out there, let them block the guy in front of them, really simplify it. Last week versus Tennessee, the offensive line was pretty god-awful when it came to run blocking. Caden Proctor was your best guy out there, 68.8 Pro Football Focus run grade, and, that's okay. I think Caden Proctor right now has been your best offensive lineman so far this year. Tyler Booker has really been a letdown. I thought he could have been a first-rounder going into this year's NFL draft. Right now, the way he's playing, I think he needs to come back for another season. Parker Brailsford also did not have a very good game versus Tennessee in the run game. Jaden Roberts, we know he's a little bit banged up right now, so you can give a little bit of grace to him. But, you really want him to be out there and, totally healthy for you because that's when he is his best. I don't think Geno Vandermark's very good, if I'm being completely honest. And then Elijah Pritchett, he started off, the first couple of games that he was really able to win the job away from Wilkin Forby. Hasn't really been good, since then either. And he did even worse in pass block last week. So this offensive line has got to get their stuff together and be able to help out the run game as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. Win or loss, we are going to be live for every single Alabama football game for our Alabama watch parties. We're going to be giving away a turnover chain this week, so make sure you guys join us right now. The start time, we're going to be going live 1 hour before kickoff at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you guys hit that sub button so you do not miss out. Key to victory number 3. We got to get some of these receivers more involved. There is no reason. Honestly, there is no reason. I understand Ryan Williams is, a spectacular talent. He's a very, very good player, even though he is a 17-year-old freshman, yada, yada, yada. Look, we got to get more guys involved. It is absolutely ridiculous. He goes out there and gets 18 targets in a game, and then Justice Haynes, your running back, gets 6 targets. Why is your running back getting the second most targets in a football game when you have Jeremy Bernard, you have Kendrick Law, you have C.J. Dupree, you have all these guys who are very talented in the pass-catching game. Look, C.J. Dupree, almost every single time he gets thrown a ball, it's been a very big play. Really, same with Josh Cuevas as well. Kendrick Law, they're just, acting like all he can really do is go out there and run block. This is probably one of the faster players on the team. Jeremy Bernard, he's up there. He's been pretty consistent. Kobe Prentice also, obviously, he had been out with those concussion-like symptoms, but, supposedly he was back full in this game, and he really didn't get any opportunities in this game, and really it's kind of been the same thing all year long. Kobe Prentice really just has not been as involved in the game plan, and coming from an offensive staff who says that they pride themselves in being able to scheme guys open and be able to really spread the ball around, this is not really doing that. And then you've got a guy, like Caleb Odom. Comes out here, he's 6'5", 227 pounds. He's a really big kid. Comes in as a 5-star tight end. Alabama goes, no, you know what? This guy is super, super talented. He is actually a wide receiver. Why aren't you using him enough then? I mean, I get it, he's a freshman, but you're going out there and you're playing Ryan Williams as a freshman. This is the biggest wide receiver you have right now outside Jalen Hale, who obviously has been out this entire season injured. Look, it is not a good look when you have Caleb Odom out here retweeting these different tweets after the game from Justice Smith saying Jalen Milroe chose to throw the jump ball to Ryan Williams instead of Caleb Odom on that one. Thought he would have chosen the taller wide receiver. And then Squidward the GOAT, I really love this account. They're a very, very funny Alabama fan account. He said, well, why would you not do the fade route to Caleb Odom there? The wide receiver that's 6'5", 230 pounds. I could not have said it better myself. This Alabama staff has got to find a way to spread the ball out a lot more because you have a lot of playmakers on this offense. You got to be able to utilize them. Key to victory number 4 here, that kill everybody mentality. I absolutely loved it when Ryan Williams came out here with that eye black against Georgia in that game with that eye black, because it is a mentality that you've really been seeking for a few years now. You really haven't had that kill everybody mentality, for a few years. And in that game, particular in really, I was going to say the first half, but really in that first quarter, you came out there with that mentality. And then you were able to finish the game with that mentality. Well, it's just up and gone since that game. Now, I know Ryan Williams, there's some, soft people out there that gave him a lot of flack for having that on his eye black. But, man, that is the mentality that you have to go out there and play with. Because the last few weeks, it's been a really, really soft mentality from this Alabama, team as a whole, both on offense and on defense. Key to victory number 5, the defense continues to improve. Look, I know the defense has had its issues. They were not very good really since that second quarter on of that Georgia game. But look, Tennessee has a very, very good offense, and we knew going into it, Dylan Sampson was really going to be the key for that game. And Alabama's defense, really the past couple of games, they have done a decent job in the first half, but really the second half is what is killing him. This is the breakdown against Tennessee, just a couple nitpicky stats that I picked out. So, you can go a bunch of different ways with it. But these are the stats that I picked out for this game. In the first half, you were able to shut them down in the running game. In the second half, you were not able to do so. Now, you did a decent job in the passing game during that game against Tennessee. Nico Iamaleava missed a lot of different guys, streaking downfield. So there were definitely some opportunities for them to, capitalize more than they did. But look, he missed the throws, so they didn't. On third downs, Tennessee, was 1 for 5 on third downs in the first half. That's great from your defense. But in the second half, Tennessee ends up going 5 for 9 on third down. So they got a little bit better and they were able to extend those drives. Some of those came on some penalties that helped them out. And then the yards per play also went up a little bit in the second half, mainly due to, those rushing stats. And then this isn't something you can really fault them on. You had 3 forced turnovers in the first half, none in the second half. Look, at the end of the day, the offense has to help you out, and they have to be able to capitalize off those turnovers, a.k.a. key to victory number 1.